Hi there! Today's Canada Day, so happy birthday Canada and happy Canada Day everyone. I thought that today would be the perfect opportunity for me to show up with my Canadian jersey and bring Nick Noorani's interview to you guys. I finally got that edited and I thought that would be awesome to show how a new Canadian can really love this country and make this country their own home. So the first question that I asked Nick was about his process of immigrating to Canada. So check it out.
Well, I didn't really decide to come to Canada, but my brother came here 2 years before. We were both in the Middle East. I was in Dubai, and he was in Abu Dhabi. And he came here 2 years before, and he actually worked with my wife. They planned and plotted to drag me kicking and screaming into Canada. I was working at that time. I ran my own ad agency and a call center. And so my wife would come to me and she'd say, you know, these are the papers we're doing, and just sign this check. And I'd sign the check and I'd sign the papers and I'd just forget about it. I just wouldn't give it any attention. And then what happened was New Year's Eve, I'm just packing up and I get a call. I'm looking at call display, it says lawyer's office. What the heck is this about? So I picked up the phone. He says, well, your visa's here. So I said, visa for what? He says, you're migrating to Canada. I said, I am? And so I remember sitting in the car with my best friend saying, oh my God, I'm going to Canada. I have no idea. What am I going to do there? The real reason we came here was like 9/10 of the immigrants whom you ask, they came here for their kids. My daughter was getting into college, so we wanted to give them an education. We wanted to give them better quality of life than they were used to back home in India. And so that was the real reason that we came to Canada.
Tell me a little bit about this whole attitude about like staying in Canada and deciding to make this country your home.
Well, you know, Veronica, after 5 years in Canada, you know, we wanted what every immigrant wants. We wanted a home, so we wanted to buy a house. So after 5 years, we finally put our money down, and on Canada Day in 2003, we walked into our new home. And that month, within 2 weeks of each other, my wife and I were both laid off. And so you've now got this dream house but a nightmare mortgage, and so what do you do? And it was at that time that, you know, I started looking for jobs, and I found that it was harder to get jobs. And so that was the point when, you know, the idea of self-employment or entrepreneurship. My wife told me, you know, why don't you go and start your magazine? I said, you know, honey, are you crazy? We don't have money. The magazine started again in the basement of my house. I started it with, you know, with just a little bit of savings and just put it together and drove it. But again, for me, the magazine was a social venture as much as an entrepreneurial venture. It was made to effect change. And so it did. It has. In 7 years, the magazine's changed so many hundreds of thousands of people's lives, you know. It's amazing. But when I started the magazine, I found that it was important for me to go and find out what is it that immigrants need. And I found that immigrants, the most important thing for them when they come to a new country is role models.
Tell me a little bit about the day that you became Canadian.
Well, we had our Canadian, first of all, we didn't take our citizenship for 9 years. We took our citizenship after being in Canada for 9 years. So everyone
why?
says, yeah, and everyone asks me that question, why? And I keep saying, you know, for me, I had fallen so deeply in love with this country, and I was so committed to this country's, I am so committed to this country's ideals and what this country stands for. It was important for me to be able to say, I've earned this rather than I want to take it as a right. I didn't want to take the citizenship because it's something that you can take for granted. I wanted to have earned it. I wanted to have given to this country. So after 9 years, that's after the magazine was acquired by the Toronto Star, I felt I have done something because now the magazine's national, it's making such a difference, and that was the year I decided to take our citizenship. And so we took our citizenship on Canada Day at Canada Place in Vancouver.
So what is your best advice for someone like me who wants to become a Canadian?
Well, again, like I keep telling people, instead of jumping into the ocean and splashing away furiously and trying to enjoy every single minute of it, lie down in the ocean and let the waves sweep over you. You'll feel the love, and it'll be a gradual process. Today, the way you feel is very different from how you felt a year ago, how you felt 2 years ago, and every year will change, and so enjoy it. There'll be subtle changes that come about when you become a citizen. One is, of course, you will cry because it's an emotional experience. You will also feel a huge sense of pride every time you watch the news and you hear about Canadian achievements, like I did when I was watching the Olympics. So it's a great feeling, and enjoy every single minute of it, and I wish you all the very best.
Thank you.